showing shame to the door. Make no mistake, I'm a slave. Ain't nothing. Can I cough? Can I cough?
Well, good afternoon, family and friends of Agape FM. Today we are live once again with me, your presenter for Encounter Me, Yolanda Singh, and we will be talking to a beautiful, handsome, yes, you can say beautiful to a man because the storyline is absolutely beautiful, and the handsome brother of mine from another mother, his name is Alveno Prins. We will be sharing on Encounter Me his story today, and I'm privileged and honored because he really has quite a few books locked up in him. So much so that I have to tell you this before we actually get into the session. He wrote me a biography about himself that was like 11 pages. And I was like, Alvino, how do we put out there what's important? So first of all, I would really like to welcome all our faithful listeners, those that are family, friends, top fans of Agape FM, where we bring the gospel nearer to you. Thank you for tuning in today. Once again, I'm pretty sure that you had an awesome time listening to Pastor Anthony in the hour just before mine. Please do not move away. We are having a beautiful story lined up for today. So before I get into it and lose myself completely, allow Alvino to say hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here this afternoon, and thank you, Yolanda, for inviting me.
Well, is there anyone special that you would like to invite just say hi to? Or is everyone in tuning in today?
I actually didn't share it with a lot of people. Um, yeah, I didn't share it with a lot of people, but a shout out goes out to my girlfriend, Jolene. She's at home cooking, preparing for tomorrow, dessert. And then just to my Reverend Albert and his wife and the kids in Corsten as well. They're listening in.
Wow. So, ladies, unfortunately, you've seen quite a few pictures of my brother online, but he is taken. So, sorry for the ladies that were hoping. We're going to tell the story of Alveno Prins today. I am privileged, I am extremely honored and excited because it's been a journey. I know Alvino from prior engagements with his church, and I just find every moment unwraps a beautiful story and a side to him that I am excited to learn even more about. So today on Encounter Me, it's exactly 14 minutes past 4, and it's a beautiful day in the city of Gqeberha. So
Ebs.
it flips. It flips. It's a beautiful day in Gqeberha, also known as Port Elizabeth, and we are excited to have you with us. Well, today I'm reminded this morning, in fact, this morning it looked like it was going to be very cold. So on my way to my morning walk, I told my friend and sister, I said to her, you know what I love about winter, it needs to be cold. It needs to have moist. And it needs to bring rain, because without winter the soil cannot be fertilized. Without winter the soil cannot be moist. Without winter the seeds in the soil might not necessarily germinate and bring forth a harvest. So we need the rain. And I want to encourage our listeners and friends that's tuned in today, please do pray for the city of Gqeberha, because we do need water. We do need water.
Yes.
We're in desperate need of water. Well, I think I've calmed Alvino's nerves, so allow me to read. The life of Alveno Prins started on the 25th of August, 1987, in the city called Port Elizabeth. He was born into a family of 4, which was his mother, Christine, his father, Aldrick, and his only older brother, Jermaine. His mom and dad, both born in 1958, united in marriage in 1983, and giving life to his brother in 1983. Alvino remembers growing up as a child life was not easy. His dad didn't work most of the time, or let me say most of his childhood, leaving his mom to act as sole breadwinner. This made things extremely difficult. Keeping a roof over our heads and providing for basic needs was all she could afford, being just a normal factory worker. My mom only completed school up until primary school level, where his dad had matric, but his dad constantly felt like life owed him and that one day he will get what he deserves. A job to match his qualifications. But he never succeeded in any job as he constantly felt the need to resign. Alvino's journey is an epic tale indeed, as his battles with his brother, the abandonment by the father, and the loss of his immediate family, torn relationships, but yet pushing forward towards a greater and better future. And we have, because we had to summarize everything, we are ending off this little profile with saying we are tuned in right now to listen to the rest of Alveno Prins's story. And just out of that piece, I'm taken.
Yes.
Alvino, talk to me. Who is Alvino?
Yolanda, like you said, was born and bred in PE. Went to school here, did my primary, high school, into Bettelsdorp Comprehensive School. After that, went to go study.
Okay.
Went to varsity, worked at the Spa Group here, then left, went to East London, worked for another company there. Further on, moved on to Pretoria, and yeah, I was basically forced to come back home.
Wow. So what did you study when you were done with matric here?
I did a national diploma in industrial engineering,
Okay.
which was then followed by my BTEC in industrial, and
Okay.
then I also have a master's in business admin
Okay.
currently, which is an
Sorry,
MBA.
okay, sorry, masters. I wish you could see his face when he shared that. Yeah. Tell me, Alvino, before we jump the gun,
Yes.
talk to me about your primary school. You mentioned in your biography about life wasn't easy as a child.
Yeah.
Walk us through your journey through the eyes of a little boy.
Yeah, it was extremely tough, Yolanda. My mom literally worked her hands off. 4 fingers. She lost 4 fingers while working in the factory.
Wow.
And that's been basically my childhood experience, where my dad was basically laying on the couch, not working because he was stuck in the apartheid issues and regimes and the unfairness in companies. And he basically imposed all of that on us as kids,
Sure.
where he was extremely hard on us in terms of our academics.
Sure.
Sport, he was very, very hard on us, so
Sure.
demanding perfectionism from us. But besides not having the resources and
Okay.
struggling, that was the other side of my childhood, where we just had to push academically, and we were basically forced to do that.
Sure.
But if you look at it from a let's call it the struggle or that point of view, it was just my mom earning a minimum wage. We couldn't afford our house later on. She had to let the house go.
Wow.
And that it almost felt like she just worked for that house to keep the roof over our heads. But I remember I told some of my friends a story the other day where I said I remember we used to go, we call it sign,
Okay.
on the book. You have to
Okay.
go get supplies like your bread, your milk,
Okay. On the book.
daily on the book at the shop. And it's a little community in Extension 27, and so everyone knows everyone. But I would go, when my mom comes from work, I would go. But I will wait till the whole shop is empty.
Wow.
Because now everyone is buying with cash,
And you having to come on the
so
book.
as a child, that's a bit daunting.
Okay.
Okay, everyone's gonna see what's happening in our household now, and and that was basically a daily thing, and where my mom had to then pay it on Friday with the minimum. So again, repeating the weeks every week. So that was basically my story from financially what went on in the household. So it was very tough seeing your friends get things, you know, you couldn't. School shoes, it was a luxury. Where you had to look after what you had at that stage. But at the same time, I always say I knew my mom for 13 years only, but I know what a mother's love is, because she loved us unconditionally through that. And it was just, she stuck to her vows that she made, never wanting to leave my dad, and she just provided for us. Like, it was just insane. The way she just made miracles, and like almost every night she had to make or perform a miracle, which she did.
Wow. Pardon to go back quickly. What does it do to a boy child when there's lack in the home? How does it make you feel? What does it do to you what did it do to you as a boy? What were the things that it actually?
I think I was very fortunate, where my mom painted the picture of how we would get out of our situation. It's only through education. It's only through excelling in sport. It's only through doing what.
So your mom actually had like a diversion from what was happening. Yeah. She had this almost like we could say this vision board.
Yes.
Okay, so she would encourage you about.
She would encourage her. She would attend all our school activities.
Wow.
She was just a phenomenal woman.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know. I told the story as well sometime 2 weeks ago. So, where it was our grade 7 prize giving, and I came second in the grade.
Wow.
But it's the first time that I received all these trophies, because I got recognition for subjects, but I came second in the grade. My dad did not attend the prize giving function, and my mom was there. When we got home, then my dad saw the program, and he's like, so you let a girl beat you with a 0.3% or something like that. And for me, that was just, okay, I'm done.
Wow, so your dad didn't acknowledge the second. He wanted you to push for first.
Exactly, he wanted me to be first. And even that, if I look at it now, why I am formed the way I am, it's some of their childhood voices that unfortunately went into my adulthood as well.
Wow.
Being a perfectionist.
I was just about to say something on that line.
Something that I'm working on, but I'm aware of it. And yeah.
Sure. You know what's so fascinating about, and before we get into a song, I'm really drawn to your story. The fact that your mom, you shared that you only knew your mom for 13 years.
Yes.
Share like what happened if you
It was, I was in grade 7 as well, was the end of grade 7.
Okay.
It was December. For the first time, I was very close to my mom.
Okay.
Never left her side. Because my dad would abuse her as well. So he had that element also going when he consumes alcohol. It's almost like taking his frustrations out on her. So she paid that price. But for me as a child, I never wanted to leave her side because I was scared. You know, what's going to happen if he goes out? Yeah. So I was almost protecting her mostly, or a lot. And for the very first time, I actually went camping with my family, my granny them. But when I left her, it was like, sure, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm not at ease, but that moment she just pushed me on, you need to go. And it was Christmas Day, and we were waiting for her to arrive at our campsite, and she didn't pitch. And the next morning, the 26th, I saw my brother and my aunt's a policewoman, and she had a uniform on, and they arrived at the campsite, and they came to tell us that my mom passed away on Boxing Day, the 26th, 2000. She died of a severe heart attack. And that time I was 13 years old. I just finished grade 7, and my brother just finished high school. We were waiting for his matric results at the time.
Sure.
Yeah, and she left us at the age of 42.
Wow.
Yeah.
The atmosphere in the studio is extremely sensitive, as you can cut it with a blade. The reality of a woman that gave everything, a woman that gave everything for her children and a marriage and a life. It reminds me of the conversation I had this morning with some ladies, and the conversation was, sometimes you as a woman, you really lay your everything down
Sure.
to keep the household together, even if it meant harming yourself. We are going to listen to the track called that, When You Walk Into the Room, and then we'll come back with another few minutes with Alveno Prins.